Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Come on, shake it. Come on, shake. Okay, okay. Did you guys know this film took 25 days to shoot? That's not very long. One of Christopher Nolan's earlier films. If you like Mind F kind of films, if you like Guy Pearce, Carrie-Anne Moss, you'll probably like this. Especially Guy Pearce. His character here is top notch. All right, review over for all of you that just left. For the rest of you, let's get into it. So interesting story here. Guy Pearce's character, he and his wife, they basically get violently assaulted by some burglars, right? Uh, Without ruining too much, the wife ends up no longer being with us, and he ends up with a certain type of amnesia. I believe it's called anterograde amnesia. I had to look that up. Anyways, what that means is he can't form any new memories. He remembers pretty much everything from the incident on back. So he knows who he is, but he can't remember anything since then. He just kind of keeps little bits at a time. It makes it very hard for him to live his life, as you can imagine, to the point where they make it a note to say he can't even watch like television shows. He can only really watch like commercials because it only lasts for like a certain amount of time, and then it all kind of goes away. Just to kind of give you an idea of the length of time of which he remembers things. So what does he want to do? He wants revenge on the people that did this to him and his wife. Again, though, he can't remember anything. So he has to develop a system to kind of help him move forward as he kind of keeps forgetting. What's that system? Well, as you can see in this picture, he uses a lot of Polaroid pictures. He takes pictures of people, writes notes about them, just so he can kind of remember who they are. He also has a bunch of tattoos all over his body, just kind of giving them basic rules. He has notes and clues here and there. That's how he does it. But as you can imagine, it's not a perfect system. The gist of all of this here is he really doesn't know who he can trust. He doesn't know what he's done. He doesn't really understand the threads of which he pulls at. He's going straight up by willpower and instinct here. It's an interesting film, especially since they tell most of it backwards. Everything in color is basically kind of like sequences that they kind of tell in backwards kind of story succession. Meanwhile, they have like black and white sequences that kind of go forward. Note, apparently all the black and white sequences were actually improvised by the actors. That's pretty cool. All the narration. The question becomes, can you really seek out revenge on such people having such a condition? Watch the movie and find out. I don't want to ruin it. At least not yet. I'll get into some spoilers in a little bit. Carrie-Anne Moss plays an interesting character too. She plays I guess you could say she plays God, I'm not sure how to put her character without ruining things. She plays somebody that he can talk to. I'll say. Same thing with Joe Pantoliano's character. He's supposed to be a friend, right? But again, he doesn't remember anything. So Joe Pantoliano comes off as his friend, but the whole cool thing about the movie is you don't really know who he is. You don't know who Carrie-Anne Moss's character is. They tell it through his lens, so it gets fun to kind of see if you can kind of figure out the mystery along with it. A very simple film, very just kind of drab, kind of backstreet kind of layouts and whatnot. Definitely a good watch if you haven't seen it. Let me know what you think. And now I'm going to get into some spoilers here. So what's funny is there's moments where he talks about another person that has a similar condition to him and how he used to be an insurance investigator and how he would investigate that guy to see if he was lying or not. They put this guy through all kinds of tests and whatnot. End of the day, they couldn't prove that the guy was lying. What's funny about that is it's funny the lack of empathy that he kind of has for that character, but then he has this condition himself, and he doesn't really have the sense to be able to look at that parallel, but we get to see it as viewers, and sounds so horrible. Another part of that story, though, is there's a moment where the wife, she gets so sick of this man not being able to remember anything. She does a test on him. She needs insulin shots, right? And the husband gives it to her whenever she reminds him. So what does she do? She makes her husband give her an insulin shot, right? And then she waits for him to forget. And then she makes him do it again and again and again in hopes that he's going to remember one of these times. Oh shit, I already gave you this. I'm going to be killing you. Newsflash for all you spoilers people out there. He doesn't remember. She ends up dying. So getting into all that, in my opinion, and they talk about this in the movie too, there's no way he could seek revenge if that's the kind of memory loss you have. No way at all. And without ruining too much for all of you that are still here, he doesn't. He gets his revenge, and he doesn't at the same time. He's actually become, in a sense, as he's called this movie, they call him a freak, but I think of him more of a monster or a menace to society of sorts. I won't say exactly how here. I don't know if I want to ruin that much. I was going to, but I won't. I'll just say, check it out. See what happens. You let me know what you. It's definitely a fun, tragic story that turns a normal man into, again, a bit of a menace. I mean, really, it's kind of an understandable position, I feel. It's just in the sense of, I mean, who wouldn't want revenge over something like that? But to be so powerless, to have that, even that ability being stripped away from you, it would be maddening. All right, I'm done with that. Let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I'll talk to you later.